Hey YouTube channel and friends, here we got another exciting video, and what we're talking about today is the Mavic 2 Pro along with weather and flight planning. You ask, why flight planning? I'll tell you. Right now, as you can tell, I'm dressed for the cold, so we know that's an obvious consent, but let's look at some visual stuff. If you can see the tree in the background, we see that those old limbs are just moving away. So what do you think? We got some wind, don't we? Well, there's also another visual indication. See the neighbor's flag? It's kind of drooping there. Doesn't look like much, but there's slightly a visual that the flag is moving. So we got the wind, right? Okay, well, let's go inside where it's nice and warm, and I will show you something else that you will enjoy having. Now, I hope you got your notebook. You got to take notes. And that is a UAV forecast app. It is a great little thing to have. So, we'll see you inside. Hey guys, friends, YouTube followers, I've got more to share with you on that weather. So what we're going to do is start out with the type of things that you need to consider. And then I'll get into two apps that will help you out. First of all, you're going to do a trip, or else you're going to fly out of your backyard. Who knows? That's up to you. But in this, we're going to consider different things. Your trip location, and in that, you will have to watch your regular TV weather, see what the weather is doing. You have several things going on. You got a high pressure and a low pressure. Well, what is that? Well, I'll tell you this. A high pressure rotates in a clockwise manner. A low pressure rotates in a counterclockwise manner. What that is these air masses are like a big river of air. You have to know that just like a water stream, these are river masses of air. Okay, so listen to your TV channel and get to learn what a high and low pressure are. Secondly, the types of flying, you're going to consider whether it's photo or is it just for fun. Now, I shoot mostly for photo, and I can play the weather. Give you a little bit of background about me. I was a commercial pilot for 22 years. I had to fly people across country and back and forth to Mexico, Canada, even up to Sweden and Scotland. Oh, you might? No, that's Australia. I didn't go into Australia. So anyway, I had to really watch the winds aloft. And the reason why I say that is that your battery is your fuel gauge. Just like we had a fuel gauge on the aircraft, you have a fuel gauge on your app that tells you what's going on. Now, if it's cold weather, you know that battery's going to drain faster. You know, if it's warm weather, it's going to drain a little slower. So get used to flying your aircraft in different temperatures to understand it and to know what your aircraft is doing. And you will do a lot better. Now, secondly, turn on Mavic Pro here. No, he don't want to turn on right now. He's embarrassed. Or else he's shy of camera. So, VFR chart is a very handy tool. If you're not a 107 pilot, start getting to know one. Whether you're a hobbyist or you're learning to be a 107 pilot, get to know a VFR chart. You can get them at your local airport, or you can order them on Amazon for your area. They're not very expensive, but they're very useful. They not only tell you what's around you, but they also tell you the classes of air that you have to either A, get permission, or B, you know how to fly under them. Okay, secondly, visual reference. Like you saw a while ago, we were outside taking a visual reference of things. We were looking at the tree limbs swinging. You probably didn't see it because of the bright sunlight, but your neighbor's Star-Spangled Banner might have been flying. If that if that flag is straight up, you know you got some high winds on the surface. If it's kind of drooping, you know it's not that much wind. So, what do? You come inside, and you're going to bring up an app like I promised you a while ago, and it's called, if you can see this, it's a UAV forecast app. And also another good one is Polar Pro. Is that it? No, Polar Pro, excuse me. But in that app, you will find a lot of good things about it. You can set your parameters. If you go to settings, you set your drone parameters, what it's meant to be, like your max wind, max temperature, minimum temperature, and so forth, so on. So anyway, that's a really good app, and all you have to do is go on Google and Google it and upload it on your phone, download it on your phone. So anyway, let's talk about turbulence. In this turbulence, you will know about hills, how the wind may be at a lower state as far as altitude goes, but if it hits a hill, it'll start rising and it will tumble. On a flat surface, it will stay evenly and calm. It is just visual indicators of what you're up against in flying that drone. And I suggest you new guys that haven't flown your drone, get out there and fly the thing when applicable. Now, I've got probably, I'd say at least 175 hours in Mr. RB-R2. I named him after Star Wars. But this is how I created my photographs. And at the end of this, you will see a video I did on a January 25th snowstorm. We had a total of 9 inches. Well, I have a TV station that has the radar, and it displays it every 10 minutes. And I was able to get to an area of the bands of snow that were moving in. I got between those two bands of snow, one that was leaving and one was arriving, and I was able to come up with a video at the end of this that you will see. Now, let's talk about the types of fronts. You'll see the cold front. It's a line with triangles, blue triangles all over it. Okay, the cold front is a cold air mass. It brings about different types of weather. The other is a warm front. It brings about warm air mass, and it's represented in red with loops on it. So look for those next time you watch your TV weather station. And the types of weather that are associated with them, a warm front will move slower than a cold front. a cold front comes in like a barreling line. Then we have a stationary front where everything is just kind of matched. It's slow, but in between those type of fronts, you'll have excess wind at different times. Now, lately I haven't been able to fly at all, just because that we've had high winds. So let's take a look at the UAV forecast. As you can see, it says not good to fly. That's because I set my parameters for my drone. It will tell you that there are certain criteria that you must meet in to fly that drone successfully. Okay, now let's go to the Poland Pro. As soon as it brings it up here. Okay, it shows you basically some of the sort of the same thing. But see the little 2 over there? That's the KP index. Well, I want to touch on that. KP index, right now 2 is what they consider a low risk. And what that is interference from the sun, and it interferes with the GPS and your controller. So take that in consideration. Mine's set at 3, and anything above that, you're might have some troubles. Not only with the GPS, like I said, but your controller as well. And I wonder about these guys that advertise their flyaway. I think that's what they're doing. I think they're flying during a time that the KP index. Let me read it right here, if it ever comes up. Come on. Slowpoke. The K index, and by extension, the planetary K index, are used to characterize the magnitude of geometric storms. That is in outer space. KP is an excellent indicator of disturbances in the Earth's magnetic field, and is used by the SWPC, which I don't know what that is, to decide whether geometric alerts and warnings need to be used for users who are affected by these disturbances. The principal users affected by the geometric storms are electrical power grid, spacecraft operations, and users of radio signals that reflect off or pass through the ionosphere, and sensitive equipment like quadcopters. Okay, so we got the breakdown on that. So, you know, all these things that I am describing to you are there, and I expect you to go do some research on it. Not only will you learn better than me just telling you, but you will start to understand what to do. Now, the best times to photo shoot, a lot of people say, you know, from morning to about 10 o'clock that morning, 2 o'clock in the afternoon till sunset. So you choose that. But take all these things in consideration. Do research. Fly your drone to your heart's content, to understand it, to know its limitations, and your pilot skills. I started off in a 172 when I was a commercial pilot. Worked my way up to a Bombardier jet. And I took the time to properly flight plan. Guys, I appreciate you and your attendance to this video. I hope you'll stay tuned. It's coming up. The video of the snowstorm that I played with the weather. But please like and subscribe, because I've got some other good information coming up. Later on in September, I'm going to go visit the grandkids. He lives in Bismarck. We're going to do photo shoots like you haven't seen. So you guys have a great day and stay tuned for the videos.